Okay, the discourse is over. The the fighting and the yelling and the vitriol has now died down. There's no more money for the grifters to be made talking about this show, so you'll probably be seeing the last of the videos that they're putting up talking about how this is the worst MCU project ever. Let's stop the motherfucking cap. There is no way in hell you're gonna sit there and tell me, you're not gonna fucking sit there and tell me this is the worst MCU project ever when both She-Hulk and Secret Wars exists. Not Secret Wars, Secret Invasion. It is impossible. There is no way you're gonna sit there with a straight fucking face, look me in my eye, and tell me that this is the worst MCU project you have ever seen when Secret Invasion and She-Hulk literally exist. Stop the cap. This show is not horrible in any way, shape, or form. If you're only here for a number, I'm gonna give you the number straight up. This is a 7 or 7.5 out of 10. It's not on the level of WandaVision. It ain't up there with fucking Loki. It's right next to Hawkeye for me. A really good series that introduces really good characters that I hope to see again. Um I hope to see the evolution of the relationship between both Riri and Natalie, which I feel as though is the best part of this. A lot of people are complaining like, I don't like it. I don't understand the references. It's the sinner's issue all over again. Where there is a subsect of people that are ignorant to black culture. It's not their choice to be ignorant. I take that back. For some of them, it definitely is a choice to be ignorant. But a lot of them just never grew up in a black environment. They didn't have black friends. Not black friends who grew up in the suburbs, black friends who grew up in like a borough, New York City, like Brooklyn or New York, or out of Compton, something along those lines. They didn't have that authentic black experience. So a lot of the jokes go over their head. When Natalie and Riri are sized about Riri figuring out the situation and they start goofing around, that's how I used to goof around with my friends growing up. That's how a lot of black women used to goof around with their friends back in high school that I remember. Um the relationship between both Riri and her mother, where like she be low key trying to hide shit from her moms, but at the exact same time, once she comes to her mother and explains what's going on, it's the best fucking advice ever. That's any freaking black kid. That's ever grown up in an environment with like a single mother where you're trying not to burden your parent with this extra stuff or you're trying to hide the fact that you messed up, and then finally when you explain the situation and you come out, they're the ones that are in your corner the hardest, that have always been championing you. The relationship between her moms and her best friend, where they go to the magic shop and for the first time ever they discover that magic is actually real, and she looks at her homegirl and she's like, bitch, you mean this whole time that we've been friends this was actual real magic he was talking about? We ain't doing that horoscope shit no more. That's a relationship between two black moms, between two black women. That's how they joke around with each other. I liked seeing that stuff. That stuff was great. I didn't find any issue with it. Now there are some weak points. My boy Rio, and I'm gonna pull up the cast, because if you ever seen Good Girls, he was the main guy on Good Girls, which was also a pretty good series that I'm low key upset that they had gotten rid of. But where's my man at? My man is, damn, they don't got him on here. Y'all got Eric Andre all the way up here. Manny Montana, dude is fantastic. I think he was underutilized. He got before the mid season of like the entire fucking show. Anthony Ramos as Hood, great. A lot of people were ragging on Shea Coulee as Slug, the hacker from Madripoor, because once again, people see a gay character and lose their fucking minds. Me, I didn't mind the character. Uh, they were there. I thought there were certain scenes where it was funny as hell, like they got into the car accident and they had the ice pack on their head, and the guy walked there and was like, "I need you to look this up," and it's like, look, like I'm just trying to rest. Can I do this after I've rested for a little while. Like I was just in an accident. I feel that shit because I be feeling that way sometimes when I have to go to work. And then when you get home and you instantaneously have to go off and do something. Dominique Thorne was fantastic as Ironheart. I think she's great as Riri, even if I feel as though a lot of people have the wrong impression about what this series was or what the main motivation of the story was. Lyric Ross as Natalie, great, both as the real Natalie and the AI Natalie. Um, Alden Enric, let me tell you something, dog. You deserved another shot to play Han Solo, and you didn't get that shot. I thought the Solo movie was fucking good. I thought you were great in this, and I'm hoping to see him come back as the character. I'm not going to spoil if you haven't watched it. Then again, if you're watching this like and you haven't watched it, why are you truly fucking here? But I thought he was great as that character, and I'm hoping to see more from that character. Reagan Aaliyah as Zelma, also fucking fantastic. Weak points, the crew themselves. As I said, I didn't really get as invested in the crew as I should. There were certain characters that I think are forgetful. The twin siblings I feel as though are pretty forgetful. It'd have been a little bit cooler if maybe they had some type of ability or something, if they were enhanced. Since we haven't arrived at mutants yet, they're still calling them enhanced humans, but they didn't. Um, the bomber chick I think was really freaking great. She was low key my favorite person from that crew, but everybody else on the crew, from Slug to the fighting siblings, they were whatever. They were what I thought was going to be cannon fodder, and when they got the ending that they got, I was like, oh, okay. So they're just kind of like clean break, and they all keep it moving from here. Anthony Ramos's Hood is a fucking standout. Dude is great. His relationship with Kagino, like his homeboy who helped raise him, his relationship with Mephisto, all of that fucking good. I loved it, and I can't wait to see his character come back with actual magical abilities and maybe a hood of his own, or maybe if even he gets back Mephisto's hood and he can cure himself of the corruption. That's another thing that I feel was great. A lot of people, like I said, are saying this show is worse than She-Hulk. She-Hulk had that horrible transformation scene in its final episode. Watching Hood go from like this charismatic guy who put this crew together that's pulling off these really big heists to the heart of the matter where he's like this vulnerable kid who was basically abandoned by his father, then spiraling and then slowly transforming into a demon as he's fighting Riri. That whole sequence was fucking good. That whole sequence was fantastic. Most people only read characters on a surface level, but when you get down into the weeds about it, this is a story about people that are dealing with some level of trauma. They've lost somebody that they love. They've been betrayed by somebody that they love. They've been left alone in the world. And they've essentially come together. But them coming together is not only causing each other harm, it's also harming the people around them as well. That's the main point of the story. The main point of the story isn't about fucking Riri taking over as like the new Tony Stark. She's not interested in doing that. If anything, she looks up to Tony Stark and has nothing but praises for him. And I'm gonna make a separate video about like this wild way in which people are trying to interpret what it is that she said in regards to Tony and in regards to the privileges that he has, and why people are spinning it when every single Iron Man movie that he's been in has basically shown and proven Riri's point. But I thought the series was solid. This was a decent show. It ain't horrible. It ain't fucking Secret Invasion. It ain't She-Hulk. I wasn't sitting there wondering to myself, what exactly is it that I'm watching? Because I don't know what direction this show is going in. It is not The Last of Us season 2. It's a decent show. It's a decent show that got a bad rap because for whatever reason, people bought into a brain dead movement that in some way, shape, or form she was going to take the place of Tony Stark. And then you had other individuals who are bad actors who hopped on top of that movement to harp their typical sexist and racist bullshit. And I think if you turn around and you even look at like a big creator, like let's say Nerdrotic, he had a situation like that where he was on his podcast with a whole host of other white guys cracking racist jokes about the fact that, oh, it's another story about a black person that doesn't have a father, or what's the name of her AI gonna be, Joanna Man? It's like, yeah, dog whistling. It's typically what it is. You watch it long enough, they start showing their hand, and you're like, okay, time to unsubscribe and move on from your channel because you're a piece of shit. And I know the type of audience that you're trying to draw in because you don't have anything of substance in regards to an actual valid opinion. But let me know what you guys think about Ironheart. Comment down below. Like I said, we're gonna be doing a lot more videos on the channel because there's a few other topics that I want to talk about. Um, but yeah, I'll catch you next one. Funny enough, and I'm making a confession at the end of this video. This is for anybody who actually watched the end of this video. I was gonna retire. Like this channel, everything, I was just gonna shut it down. And I was gonna keep it moving. Um, I've been in the lab a lot more, as in working out a lot more. I'm down like 40 pounds from like the beginning of the year. My mentals is a whole lot better. Work's going great. Outside of YouTube, my regular life is fantastic. And I was really just gonna sunset this entire thing. But as I watched this entire series devolve, where it was just bad takes after bad takes and then misinformation and people just straight up lying. I was like, you know what? Maybe there is a need for me to stay in the space to be somebody that just like cuts through the noise and the bullshit and gives an honest, valid opinion who's doing it for the love of the game, because I don't make money on this YouTube channel. I make videos fucking sparingly. This is not my core job, which means that I don't have an incentive to sit here and lie and give you a bullshit take because I need to get paid at the end of the month. I get paid at the end of the month regardless. Like it's that Samuel L. Jackson, when they were talking about like him being in bad movies, and he's like, motherfucker, the check already cashed. I've already been paid. I don't give a fuck whether or not you like the movie or not. That's me. I get paid doing something else. So I don't have to sit around and be like, no, I have to make a video where I lie, or I bend the truth, or I rage in some way, shape, or form because I need that check to clear to pay my mortgage. Mortgage is already paid, baby. All you're getting is 100% truth and honesty from me. And this is a decent series. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.